This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's such a delight to be here with you, helping you learn to play the guitar. This is lesson 21 in this series that is all about strumming patterns and strumming principles. Super fun. In this lesson, we're going to take a look at introducing the triplet fill into pieces of patterns in 4/4 time, and then I'll actually have an adaptation if you want to do it with 3/4 time. So a couple of great patterns. Let's just go ahead and dive in here. So the triplets in their natural habitat, so to speak, are in the compound meters of 6/8, 9/8, 12/8. That's a natural tripletized fill with the 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a if you were doing 12/8, or 1 and a 2 and a, if you were doing 6/8, and of course we'd have 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a if we were doing 9/8. Whereas 2/4, 1 and 2 and has that simple fill where the beat is subdivided by 2 instead of 3. And so when we have triplets that are coming in to a simple meter like 4/4 time, where we have naturally 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and as the subdivision of the beat, now we're going to have 3 notes shoved into that space. So we're bringing that triplet into it, but we're fitting it into the place of where the quarter note is. So it'd be like 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a 1 and 2 and a. That's just going back and forth. So we get the 1 and a 2 and a right in there with the 1 and 2 and. So let's just go ahead. That may be a little bit more information than you want, but let's look at the strumming patterns that I've got up here because they are super fun. I think they're super fun. Maybe a little bit tricky, and that's sort of the design of this course, is that it gets a little bit harder in some ways as we move forward. So we're going to bring this triplet in here. I'm going to swing the 8th notes for this. So I've explained that before. That's where we're delaying the up strum. So we have a little bit of a delay. We're giving those strums that fall on a beat a little bit more time. So we're giving the 8th notes falling on a beat a little bit more time. And those on the offbeat, we're pushing them back further by delaying when they come in. And we get a swung 8th note feel instead of an even 8th or straight 8th note feel. So I'm going to swing the 8th notes with this one, but we're going to have down, up, and then the triplet, down, up, down. Now, the triplet oftentimes throws off the strumming direction, and this may seem a little bit weird, but we're actually going to do 2 up strums back to back, and then a down, up gets us back with those 4 8th notes there at the end. So it sounds like down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. And you can practice that as much as you need to. You can even break it down into pieces. Down, up, down, up, up. Down, up, down, up, down. And just do that much as you need to. And then up, up, down, up. Up, up, down, up. As much as you need to. Now with the swung 8th notes, that really works. But down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up, down, up. So we have to work a little bit to get that up. Then, once you've got that down, we can plug it into a chord progression. It's always great to practice these with chord progressions. I've got a fun one up here on the board. D to C add 9 to G. Because C add 9 might not be familiar, I'm going to go ahead and show you these chords just real quick. You got the D chord, which you're probably familiar with. If you need help with the chords, you can do the Guitar 101 series that's on chords and strumming. It takes you through actually learning the chords and strumming. But C add 9. We're going to have that pinky finger up on that top string at the 3rd fret, then our ring finger at that 3rd fret on the 2nd string. Then we skip down to our index finger at the 2nd fret of the 4th string, and then middle there at that 3rd fret of the 5th string, and we play the top 5 strings. Great sounding chord. Then we go to the final G. We're actually just going to move our index and middle fingers. Used these chords before in a different progression in this series, so hopefully they're familiar. But to go from C add 9 to G, just move that index and middle finger. Okay, so if we were to plug this in 1 time per chord that's up here on the board, so 1 time per chord in our progression, we would have 1, 2, ready, and... harmony, so I just went one time through each of those chords. But super fun strumming pattern. Now the tempo will sort of affect the groove, and I think it works nicely at that tempo, but I'm going to slow it down a little bit so you get a little bit of how that works at a slower tempo, and it might be what you need to try and grasp it anyway. So we'd have 1, 2, ready, and... I just want to mention this up works because we are doing this with swung eighth notes. This is sitting further back into the beat, and we just have plenty of time to do that up, and that's part of the reason that it works so well. Okay, I'm going to take it a little bit faster here. So we'd have 1, 2, ready, and... like that. Now we can take it even faster, and I'm just going to demonstrate it, and maybe you can play along, maybe you want to play it fast. But we'd have 1, 2, ready, and... I think it's super fun. All of these string patterns, one of the reasons I just love strumming on the guitar is it creates this groove, and the groove is danceable, or it just makes us feel a certain way inside, and it's just so fun. So, love it. Now, if we wanted to adapt this for 3/4 time, so 2/4 time would be easy because we could just do this entire progression over 2 measures of 2/4 time, or you could just do half of it. Kind of. This one would be hard to do half of it just coming around to the down, down, but you could do it. Or you could pick just 2 of the 4 beats, wherever you wanted to pick them: down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down. So you could do something like that. But 3/4 is really where we're going to drop a beat, and I'm just going to demonstrate if we were to drop off that final beat, which is kind of fun. You'd have down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, up. And we could have this in 3/4 time. I'm going to plug that into the chord progression. We'd have 3, 2, 1. So easy to make a adaptation for 3/4 time. Could also cut off the front beat. Okay, down, up, 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 down, up. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so there's some ideas for how you could adapt that for 3 forward time. Let's go ahead and take a look at this next one here, and we're back to 4 forward time. So slight difference here. We've got 2 eighth notes, down, up, and then 6 triplets. So 2 beats worth of triplets, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, and then a down, up in the eighth notes there at the end. So you have down, up, 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 down, up. If we were to plug that in, and we'll start nice and slow with this chord progression, we'd have 1, 2, ready, and... Now, I can demonstrate it slower. It's actually harder sometimes with triplets to play it slower. We could do it a little bit slower. So you'd have 1, 2, ready, and we'd have... At that tempo, it can be kind of fun too. It changes the groove, the tempo that we're at. But I'm going to go ahead and play it faster, a little bit faster now, so you can hear it that way too. So we'd have 1, 2, ready, and... I could do it even faster. 1, 2, ready, and... So just like that. Now with both of these, I did the swung eighth notes. I think they work well for these strumming patterns. You could do even eighth notes, but they just don't. I don't like them quite as well. Now, if we wanted to turn this one into a pattern for 3/4, we can cut off the last beat or the front beat pretty easily as well. We'll go ahead and cut off beat 4. You'd have down, up, 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 down, up. So we'd have 1, 2, 3. cut off beat 1 and have beats 2, 3, and 4. So down, up, 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 down, up. If we do that in the chord progression here, we'd have 3, 2, 1. So just like that, and of course you could do that at different tempos as well. So there are a couple strumming patterns for you that introduce that triplet feel back into the 4/4 time, back into the simple meter, or we could alternatively do it for 3/4 time, and then of course these same kind of elements could work for 2/4 time. Now moving forward, we don't exactly tend to put simple meter into the 6/8, the compound meter, 6/8 time, 9/8 time, or 12/8 time. If we want this mix, it's usually done in these meters, these simple meters, where we have the normal 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and or 3 beats per measure, 2 beats per measure. So a couple of great, super fun ones to do there to work on that triplet fill. Now, as we move forward into the next lesson, we're going to start looking at 16th notes. We did some work with 16th notes when we were working in the compound meters and in the odd meters, but we're going to go ahead and do some work with 16th notes now in these lessons, and there's a lot of different types of strumming patterns that we can use these. We can create a double time feel, lots of fun things that we can do, so we'll be starting on that in the next lesson. I hope you're having fun. Keep at that guitar thing. These lessons come out every Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Right now there's jazz lessons coming out on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And when this series concludes, then we will have Technique Tuesdays and Theory Thursdays back in action as well. So there are hundreds of other lessons already on the channel, lots of great things to help you. Keep at it, take care, have fun, and we'll see you again.
If you found this video helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. For more in-depth lessons and to progress through a free guitar course, check out my Guitar 101 series on YouTube and my guitar method books, which all come with access to hours of in-depth video lessons. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.